Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Ready to Love Season 9, Episode 10 or 11, wherever we are at. I hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing well, tired, but doing well. So we are down to the final four ladies. The ladies look beautiful. I tried to get a full screenshot of all of them, but they all look like a bunch of pretty Skittles, minus Maya or Mia. Am I saying her name right? Minus Maya, who had on black, but she still looked very beautiful as well. So they all looked great. They're meeting with Nephew Tommy, and Nephew Tommy is letting them know that the work is not done yet. What are we going to do? What we always do. It is time for you to let the ladies. I promise y'all that wasn't no shade. To let the gentlemen meet your family members. So the ladies are going to have them meet family. Patrice lets us know she ain't let nobody meet her family since she was 20 years old and they met her ex-husband. So this should be interesting for all involved. I was really surprised to see Vanessa walk in the room because I would have left early on if I was her. I would have pulled a Rashina. I wouldn't have stayed there because the person that she's the most connected with truly played games right in her face and didn't care. So I probably would have went on, but we're here and we're going to see it out to the end. So let's get to our first meeting. First up is Mika and her dad, or should I say her dad, D-E-D. He is going to be meeting Justin. Y'all, I had to grab this shot of Mika's daddy because if this man don't look like he still smoke out of a pipe, he got one of them voices where he just sound like he constantly need a little peppermint, a little cough drop. So Mika is introducing him to Justin. Justin comes in. Justin's pretty smooth, but you could tell the daddy was ready to get to it. So he was just like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? So he asked Justin different questions, where he's from, does he have any girlfriends? Because he knows y'all pretty boys, y'all be having a lot of girlfriends, and he not here for it. Justin said he has actually been single 3 or 4 years, and Dad said, oh, that's a long time. And that is actually one of the things that Mika says she's concerned with, and y'all, I've been holding on to this, but I realized about episode 2 that I did not like Mika's voice. Now, I thought it was because, at first I was like, is it because she's country? Can't be, because I'm country, and plenty of women on these shows have been country and didn't get on my nerves. I finally figured out what it was when she got to talking. Her voice don't have any modulation to it. It doesn't rise or fall. It just stay monotone the whole time. See, that's one of the things that I've been worried about because, he been in a relationship. He ain't been in a relationship in a long time. And that's one thing I've been thinking about because, I got 2 kids and that's a long time to be single. And so I was just like, Mika, it don't rise or fall. It don't do nothing. It just stay right there, just at a constant. I wish y'all could see my hand just there, just right there. So, Justin says that yes, he has been single a long time, but that ain't nothing. I don't know. She brought it up more than one time. Maybe I'm strange, but I know a lot of people who have been single 3, 4, sometimes even 5, 6 years. Now, it doesn't mean they ain't been in a situationship or haven't had nothing going on. Just their status as a couple or not non-couple, it has been single for quite some time. But I guess for some people that's not very common. I'm starting to wonder if it's a community issue and if it's just black people that be single for all them years. Because I can't say that I venture out into too many other communities to ask them how long they've been single. Like, do we hang out? Yes, but I don't necessarily ask them how long at any given time they have been single. So I guess that's a case study I can do around here. So Mika is concerned about that. So when she say something about the 2 kids, the dad was like, hey, how you feel about that? You ready for that? Justin said he is ready for it. He's fine with it. He says that he really likes Mika. Mika is really genuine. He is in Dallas, and there's a lot of party girls in Dallas. And he's looking for somebody. He said that, y'all, not me. Okay, Dallas girls, don't get mad at me. He is very introverted. He can be in his head a lot. And Mika is very thoughtful. She is reassuring and puts him back in the right headspace. He loves the space that they're in. He loves the pace that they're going, and he wants to continue, because if you move too quick, you might miss some red flags. So not trying to move too slow, but I'm not trying to move too quick either. The daddy is just like, because they all I got. So as long as you good to them, you good to me. That was the daddy main thing. Just be good to my girls. But y'all see the side eye. He was giving that side eye the whole time. Only time he really cracked a smile is when Justin said that he heard he liked to go fishing, and then he kind of smiled at that a little bit. Overall, I think that this meeting went well. It does seem like the daddy likes Justin, and it seems like Mika is a lot more concerned about how long he has been single. But Mika, if you ask around, you're going to find that it ain't just him. But I don't know, y'all. Y'all tell me. I mean, how long y'all known people to be single? Let's move on to the next date. Meeting. I must say, y'all, I am rocking with Gwen because Gwen is rocking with us. Now, let's see if I can remember everything that happened here, because I'm going off the dome today. So Chaz shows up in a similar color to Vanessa's, which is hilarious to me. And he comes in saying that he's got mixed feelings. He's feeling a little mixed. Vanessa is also feeling some type of way, but they are going to see the process through. I don't think it's a good idea. So she's sitting there talking to Gwen before Chaz gets there, telling Gwen a little bit about the situation, about Chaz. When Chaz gets there, they do a little casual talk about Dallas, and then they get into the nitty gritty of the thing. She asks him about his dating life. He hasn't really dated that much in 3 or 4 years since his last serious relationship. He also says that he's in the house a lot. He has a dog. And Gwen's like, oh, really? You got a dog? And so she look at Vanessa. Now, Vanessa makes a point to tell us in the confessional. She don't hate animals or anything, but she just really ain't into taking care of no animals. She just got time for her kids. And I understand that. But the way that her sister looked at her, to me, look like Vanessa don't really fool around too much with no animals, and she trying to make it lighthearted in the confessionals. And y'all know how I feel about animals. I've told y'all before, if you can't take a bath every day, you just can't be in my house, and that includes small children. So my thing about it is, and what I've had to learn and really digest, is that if you get with a dog person, that dog is a part of their life. The chances of them giving a dog up for you is not going to happen. So you're going to have to make the adjustments for the dog person. You're going to have to get with the friendly furs and all of that. And if you can't do it, then ain't no need in even pursuing that person. That's just how it is. It's just how it go. Y'all can make some concessions on the dog in the bed, maybe. Some people won't even do that. So the sister is surprised that that's going on. Also asks Chaz about his connection with Vanessa. He says he feels deeply for Vanessa. And she want to know, what does that mean? What does deeply mean? And Chaz says, well, she knows the things that I've said to her before. She's aware of my feelings for her. And I love the way that Gwen and Vanessa word things, like how they explain themselves. And Vanessa said, I think I'm at the point in my life where I want to be loved out loud. I said, I'm right. I'm at the point in my life where I want to be loved out loud. I'm going to put that in my notes. And Chaz is looking very nervous. I think that they just caught him in a situation where he didn't really know what to say to Vanessa, and it looked like he was trying to think of it as he went along. She also inquires about some of the other women and the other connections that he has. And he said, yeah, he's had connections with some of the other ladies. And she was like, oh, well, I don't know if she asked an amount or if she just said, do you have other connections with women? And Chaz said that he's had connections with at least 10 of the 11 women on the show, to which Vanessa is just like, what? Gwen is like, what? And I'm like, what? Who? Did Chaz have a connection with every woman on the show? It wasn't even 11 women in the process. So now he up there lying. He's talking about he can't keep all these women together. I said, this is not good. The way that he was talking and the fact that he would say something like that to somebody's family member, to me, it wasn't at least he's being honest. It was more of I really want you to get rid of me. Like, I really want you not to like me. So I'm going to just be saying whatever. I don't really care. I have recently discovered, I don't know why I didn't pay attention to it before. I thought Chaz was in his early 40s. No, this man is 47 years old. Talking about he's ready to start a family. all of this different stuff. And it just goes to show that all wisdom don't always come with age. He talk a good game, but he ain't living right. He ain't doing what he's supposed to do. He's almost acting like a man that is not used to having a lot of options, so he just don't make a decision. But one of y'all pointed out in the comments, he might be used to having options. He just ain't used to them all being in the same place at the same time and have them knowing about each other. And maybe that's it. But he's just coming off as very swarmy and not like a damn near 50-year-old man talking about you want to start I don't like when men be that age talking about starting a family. I'm sorry, y'all. I just don't. I just don't, because you ain't even got to do the carrying. So you really should have messed up with somebody years ago. I know that sound bad, but you really should have trapped somebody years ago. I don't know what you've been waiting on all this time. All you got to do is, one skeet. So I'm sorry, that's inappropriate, ain't it? Ain't it? I understand when a woman be taking too long, because that is a lot of process we got to go through. Okay, in the end of the day, we can go to the bank. Unless you got that money for the surrogate data analytics manager, and you might have it. Unless you got the money for the surrogate, you need to be doing what you need to do. Anyway, so the meetup doesn't go well. Chaz is not being forthcoming. He don't even remember how many women was in the process, but apparently he had connections with all of them. So when it's time for her to get out of there, Gwen just tells Vanessa, I don't really get a good vibe from him. I feel like he wants to be all in, or he's trying to appear like he's all in, but he wants all the women to think he's all in. And Vanessa thinks that too. Trash. Dumpster fire. Chaz, get the hell on. And hold up, wait a minute. I forgot a part. When they get to discussing about his connections, he brings up that, he had some connections and he just recently had a new connection that he wasn't expecting. And Vanessa looked at Gwen and said, you see how he acted like he was roped in, like he was trapped? Like you had a decision that you could have made. Nobody trapped you into a new connection. Well, these things take time and, we have to go through this process. Vanessa said, I don't have a problem with the process. The problem is you're not providing the clarity, and Gwen said it too, and the communication that Vanessa needs. Give her what she needs, because she is worth it. And now I see that has been Vanessa's issue. At first I thought she just wanted, like, she was taking the process personally, but now I kind of see, like, I get that you got these other connections, but you not letting me know where I stand. You gonna hate beautiful everybody in the house and also say that we got a strong connection. I feel like I'm on the same level as everybody else. And if that's the case, be clear. Give me some clarity on that. But Vanessa, he showed you when he packed them raggedy duffel bags and left. He gave you all the clarity that you needed. But I understand what you're saying, girl. I want to hear it out your mouth. So Chaz is all hemmed up and caught up on the ropes, like Patrice just ambushed him and he just couldn't say no. And maybe he is one of those people that he just can't say no, that he not interested. But Chaz, oh my gosh, he is a piece of work. He too old for this. He is too old for this. I know that I've already said a few curse words, and I would like to be allotted a few more, 2 or 3, because Patrice and Chaz about to bring it up out of me. So Patrice has Alonzo meeting her brother. And I just want to say, Patrice, you playing games as well. Maybe you and Chaz deserve each other, because Alonzo, in my opinion, is your stronger connection. Now, whether he goofy or all that other stuff, I'm not saying that those things are not true, but he is, in my opinion, so far, your strongest connection. You have spent more time with him. Y'all have been on more dates. You and Chaz, this is new. People do not make new connections usually right before the final episode. That just usually doesn't happen. So the fact that you're even doing that, maybe the two of you do deserve each other, because both of you are playing games. Your whole put together was different with Alonzo, and I really didn't like that. And I don't know if Alonzo is choosing not to see it, or if he's just that blind, or if he just really likes you that much, or if he's just playing the game to the end. But the boy does not strike me as somebody who is trying to maneuver to the end of the show. He actually strikes me as a guy who really, really likes you. So when he meets with the brother you can already tell is not really about to be feeling Alonzo like that. Like, I think he gave him a chance. But the way that Alonzo was answering the questions was how he always answered questions. Very goofy. The brother asks about marriage. He says something like, oh, I can see marriage like next date, let's just go to the courtroom. I said courthouse, but whatever. It's in a courtroom. So, okay. And then he asks, if you guys were to get together, would you be in an apartment first? Would you try to get a home? I don't know. I'm just kind of like a go with the flow type of person. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe we could see what you think about that. Maybe we'll just go ahead and try it. Get a house. The brother's not impressed. He tell him, you being goofy right now. And I respected the brother for letting Alonzo know. Alonzo genuinely looked like he didn't know he was being goofy. And the reason why I think he looks like that is because it's always been acceptable. Even the way that Patrice showed up to this date was goofy. What do she got on? I understand it's a cute little jogging suit, but what you got that hood on for? Is your hair not done in the back? I don't even really see young girls walking around looking like that. So I don't know what she had that little whole hoodie situation on. They meeting for lunch, but she gonna let Chaz meet her mom, which is obviously somebody who you hold in high regard and you more serious about. So the brother's sitting there calling Alonzo goofy, and I'm thinking to myself, your sister old goofball head ass too, if you ask me, because she's sitting here playing with this boy while she was sitting there in a full ass hoodie. So Alonzo thinks that he did well with Emmanuel, Patrice's brother. He didn't do well. He even tried to bring up when Emmanuel seems to be big on family. So he wants to know what your family connections are like. Were you close to your dad? He said that he wasn't that close to his stepdad. He was around and he tried to call him dad once. And he said, don't ever call me that. And I don't know, y'all. The story, I'm sure he meant for it to hit like your heart, but it was just awkward. But he thinks that he made a 90, and I would like to live my life in the level of delusion that Alonzo lives his, because he think Patrice got a strong connection with him. She don't. He think that Emmanuel finds him to be a good catch for Patrice. He don't think that, baby. And he think he knocked it out the park on this date. You didn't do that, Alonzo. Emmanuel say he a cool dude, but he not serious enough. And right now, we not going with the flow. And Patrice talking about, that's right, we not going with the flow. Yeah, the hell we not. Even when you picked Alonzo out, I said that was a foolish decision, because he is how many years younger than her? 5 or 6. And I know that a guy can be younger than you, but most of the time when it comes to maturity level, it's best if we just try to stay, for the ladies, around our age or older. And I hate to be the one to admit it, because I like them young too. Okay, JoJo like them young too. They just wear on me better. Like a nice jacket. But it just works out better if they older than you or around your age. A lot of times this kind of stuff don't work. But, ooh, child, she goofy as hell too, though. All right, y'all, I might miss a few things here. I went back and watched it 2 or 3 times, but they got on my nerves. The whole everybody, this whole scene got on my nerves. So Chaz gets there. He's a little bit nervous because, again, their connection is new. But you see how the put together is different. They went to dinner. Everybody looks nice. Everybody's dressed nice. Patrice ain't got that damn hoodie on. She came in with the back of her head done for this date. I don't understand why she's giving Chaz way more put together than she's giving Alonzo. Now, logistically, I understand, because Chaz is older. Chaz has himself more established. But that ain't who you been dealing with this whole time. And maybe because Will was out the running, she went with her next best. Patrice goofy. I'm going to just have to say she goofy. I'm not even going to go with she trying to play the game. No, I'm not even going with that. I'm not giving her that. So, but this is no fault of the mama and the brother. Okay, I'm cool with them. So they meet up, and they got questions for Chaz. She wants to know, is Chaz wealthy? Chaz considers himself to be well off, well to do. He's done well with his life. He's set up well. All right. Patrice says she want to know if you're a drug dealer. Was that goofy? Brother Emmanuel, is Patrice telling too many jokes for the meetup? You let me know. Because you said Alonzo was being goofy. So is your sister being goofy right now? Because the mama was serious. Emmanuel starts to ask about things like, of course, the family again. The mom asks about his parents, and he said his parents were married for 40 some odd years. They had 4 children. They're boys. And that's when Emmanuel asks, are they close? Chaz said that they are not close. Not for any specific reason. They just kind of went off and all lived their own lives. And he's actually closer to his friends than he is to his brother. Now, Emmanuel didn't like that. Okay, Patrice said, well, me and my brothers are like this. Oh, well, good for y'all. I love when Chaz was like, well, that's good. Because that's you and your brother. Me and my brothers are not like that. And listen, all siblings are not the same. I don't know the age gap with Chaz and his siblings. I can tell you, if you have an age gap with your siblings, sometimes it makes it a little bit more difficult. I know that's the case with mine. We do have a relationship, but I know that their relationship is a lot closer because they are closer in age than I am to them. So sometimes it just doesn't always work where you and your siblings are super tight. You would love for it to be that way. But I do like that he does have a relationship with some men in his life, and those happen to be his friends. And I think having friends is very, very, very important for men. So, anyway, other questions that get asked is how has he set. No, that's not exactly what they asked him. I think the brother was more so asking, like, what is he ready for in a woman and how would he be there for Patrice? And he was just like, oh, I cater to my girl. I cater to my woman. I try to figure out what she needs, what she likes. I try to give her that time. And so Emmanuel liked that answer. Nothing was wrong with any of Chaz's answers. It's just the fact that he was fooling everybody, child. They asked what stood out about Vanessa, child. What stood out about Patrice because he does have other connections. They asked Alonzo the same thing, and Alonzo was just basically like, it ain't no other connection. It's all about her, what she brings to the table. She cordial. I don't think that's the word Alonzo meant to use, but let's focus on Chaz. I'm sorry. So Chaz says that there was a moment at the house, this is what made Patrice stand out, where he was under some pressure from the other women in the house. And Patrice took it with no judgment and even prayed with me. And y'all know how that pissed me off when she prayed with him. The mama over there nodding her head. And he was like, I had never prayed with the woman versus with Vanessa. Oh, who the hell told you the name? Don't say my name to know these other people. They don't know me. Vanessa, it was met with so much judgment, but with Patrice, it wasn't. I don't know why the mama was sitting there nodding, talking about because when a man findeth the wife, he findeth the good thing. Did he find a wife because she can pray? A woman, fellas, y'all do know just because a woman can pray do not mean she wife material. We do know that, right? Mama, we do know that just because that man prayed with her does not mean he husband material. We do know that, right? I'm wondering because there's been other episodes of Ready to Love where y'all getting hot in the coochie and bothered when somebody get to praying. And I'm confused by that. So the mama just nodding her head like, that's how I raised her to be, to pray for men who ain't shit. That's what I told her to do. So Chaz says that he really enjoyed meeting her family, and they're from the South, and I got that soul food connection from the family. Boy, shut up. Do you know that soul food is about a bunch of drama? You didn't get no soul food connection. You got I manipulated these people and I successfully pulled the wool over their eyes connection. So you couldn't run it with old Gwen. You couldn't run that shit with Gwen with them bracelets on. Gwen had on about 17 bracelets. It might have all been one. But you couldn't run it with old denim wearing Glenn, denim on denim. You couldn't run it with Gwen. But you ran it over there with her mama. And we find out why when he get up and leave. And she was like, oh, I know he's your type. And he's so attractive. Okay. Not we one of them mamas. Well, we still looking at how cute the man is, baby. I don't care if the man was Morris Chestnut. Actually, Morris Chestnut could do whatever he wanted to me. I know disrespect to his wife, but he could call me the B word. And we about to talk about that next. And I would still ask him when he wanted to get married. It's not a lot of men I would pick me for, but him I would. Okay. Anyway, so he successfully fooled the family. The brother is still because he doesn't really like the fact that he doesn't seem to have a strong connection to his family. And sometimes that can be a red flag. That's something that you got to kind of see it through and see what's really going on there. But the brother said other than that, he likes him. And Patrice said, I like that he has prepared himself for a wife. In what way? How? Because he got a home? Because he's a data analytics manager? I got a little cert as well. Do you want to be my wife, Patrice? Have I prepared myself enough for you? How is that? Y'all, they got me yelling. My stomach hurting. I'm not finna do this with nobody today. We gonna move forward. One thing's for sure and two things for certain. A hard head make a soft ass every time. Y'all don't like to listen to your Auntie JoJo. A lot of women don't like to listen to your Auntie JoJo, especially my younger girls. I try to tell them something. They just think I'm coming off as mean and bitter. And those things may be true at some moments in my life. But when I told Maya that I was concerned about how she always trying to go with the flow and, Whatever sounds good, she can kind of mold herself to it. Even with Will and them 4 children, she seemed like she was with it. Like she just seemed like she with whatever. Well, being with whatever is always the wrong idea when it comes to these guys. You got to set a standard. You got to set a boundary. It's got to be a hard wall. Men do not respect niceties. They only respect action. Any man that tell you he want a woman that's sweet is about to dog walk your ass. Trust me. I used to be sweet. My origin story, Houston, Texas. That's when I turned into a villain. I can't keep their hands off me. Now, Luron and Maya, what's the baby name? I'm going to call her Maya. Had a little falling out. And I thought I was hearing wrong. I had to keep rewinding it. Maya said, well, Luron, we had a little disagreement and he's called me a B. I said, wait, did she say B? Boo? Bay? Booger? He called you a B? ITCH? I don't even say that word on my channel. Like, are we for real? So her mama calls and say she not going to be able to make it. Y'all know Maya called her before she mic'd up and said, Mama, call me in 10 minutes and tell me you can't come. No, call me in 10 minutes and call me from the hotel. Don't come down here. So she calls and tells I'm not going to be able to make it. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Are you okay? I said, this is the worst skit ever. Luron comes in and she tells him, look, my mom was supposed to come. She's not going to be able to make it. Luron already know what it is. So we find out through the confessionals that there was a situation. Now, Luron says that she was hugged up on some dude and he ain't standing for it because he ain't no simp. Maya is saying that she was speaking to somebody she knew already and she was saying hello to him and Luron got upset about it. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Maybe she was giggling a little too much. Her and Luron might have had some drinks. Maybe bruh didn't think she was with Luron and he was too close. Or perhaps he ain't got no respect for Luron. I don't really know. But one thing I know is this. Maya is a very pretty girl. And a lot of times, Luron, I'm not saying you like this. I'm just wondering, based on your reaction and how hostile you got with her, because she said that you did get angry and you admit that you got angry. I'm kind of wondering if this is a woman who is not normally in the league that you believe you can get. Because why are you being so possessive of her so early? One thing about dating a beautiful woman, and I do think Maya is beautiful. Okay, some of y'all might not agree, but I think Maya is beautiful. One thing about dating a beautiful woman is they are going to have people around them. It ain't even just going to be men. It's going to be women in their face, straight or other. It's going to be men in their face. It's always going to be people that want to be around them because they got a face, they got a look, they got a body. They draw people in. Being a very beautiful person that's just what it is. Ladies, we know when we've dated men who were attractive, it's always somebody around laughing a little bit too hard. And you got to be secure within yourself when those kind of things are going on. Now, if they do too much, of course, he will check it. But you know what I'm saying? I have friends that are very beautiful. It's always people around, not just men. Girls, too. They want to be your friend. They want to take pictures with you. They want to dance with you. People are always going to think that she is very beautiful. And Luron strikes me as the person that it don't matter if it's a man or a woman. If people paying too much attention to Maya and he's not getting the attention, he's going to be upset about that. That's going to blow his day. And that's what happens sometimes when a man is dating a woman who he feels may be out of his league. And this is why a lot of people will say you can't give a man that's not in your lane a chance. Because they'll try to humble you. And what's the best way to humble some woman that you believe is out of your league, but you want to bring her down to your level? Call her out her name. And that's exactly what he did. Maya, I don't even know why you talking to him. I would have told him from nephew Tyler Perry's office. Uncle nephew Tyler Perry. Nephew Tommy. I would have told him from there, I'm not going out with him no more. Because he called me a B word. And not only did he call her that, but you can tell he ain't got no shame. He over there laughing about it in the confessionals. Talking about I ain't no simp. And you plenty of simp. What happened to all that shit you was whispering the other day? I'm trying to be your man. Like I just want to be your man. I just want to get near you. You better be glad you ran up on the right one. Because if you would have called Coco the B word, you probably would have got your throat slashed. Because she looked like she a little crazy. Unacceptable. Maya, you shouldn't even be sitting there having no conversation with him. It makes you look weak. I can tell you have a problem with setting your boundaries. You really didn't even set them with William. Like, you really didn't even tell him what your problem was. You was just ready to get him on up out your face. You really never even addressed it with him when he was still there. I bet you he looking like a much better catch now, but ain't neither one of them a good catch. Not for you, because you ain't got no kids. And you're not insecure within yourself. I don't think you are. But you sitting here talking to him is making me wonder. Bye. And he wasn't over that other girl anyway. But to call me a B word in front of me would have been the last time you heard from me, baby. The messages would have been popping up green, delivered. You know what's funny? Justin has a young and an older face at the same time. Like, the features are older, but like the skin and stuff is young. I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, him and Mika go on a date. Yes, child, the show is still going. Him and Mika go on a date, and Mika brings up again how he hasn't been in a relationship in a long time, and he wants to know what her specific concerns are, to which she talks about how, like, why are we going 4 to 6 hours without talking, in her monotone, 4 to 6 hours without talking to each other, like, you're not thinking about me? And Justin asks, is she more clingy? To which you could tell that kind of took her back. She was like, clingy? That's not clingy. Well, Mika, maybe it's not clingy, but I think that there is a way to also look at this from another perspective. You're used to being with somebody. You're used to being in long-term relationships. You're used to talking to people all of the time. You claim that you are introvert, but this just goes to show that different introverts do different things. I'm the type of introvert, I don't need us to be talking and texting all day. I don't need that. 4 hours might go by and you might not hear from me. Like, you might hear from me that morning and you might hear from me that evening. There are going to be some people who have a problem with that. And of course, if you like a person enough, you will try to do a little bit better. You'll try to do a little bit more. However, your personality, a lot of times, it is what it is. Like, you only have so much to give socially, and so much to talk about. I don't know what kind of work Justin does or what he does throughout the day, but I know with me, I need my time to decompress, even when it comes to texting. And I'm also always doing something. Like, I'm usually not just laying in the bed watching TV. I usually occupy my time very well. So I'm not always looking to be on my phone, if that makes sense. And I know I convey it differently on here to y'all, but I really do just kind of be in my own world. And so I think that they could look at that. Mika could stand to look at it from another side instead of thinking, oh, Justin's not thinking about me. Justin might just be busy living his life doing what he do and could be thinking about me, but he just not texting right now. So I like the way that Justin reassured her, where he was like, look, when you off doing your thing, I want you to be happy. I want you to live your life. I'm not thinking about, well, why isn't Mika texting me? Why isn't she calling me? Why she don't want to talk to me? And I think it was good that he reassured her on, hey, I just like to live my life and I need a certain amount of time to myself, and I'm going to give you your time to yourself. I hope that Mika received that well. It seemed like she did. And I think they're doing a good job having the conversations that they need to have. But Justin said, since I know your expectations, and see, this is where it comes in where you can make adjustments with a person. I know that you don't want to go a whole day without talking to me, and you won't. But that every 4 to 6 hours, though, I can't guarantee you that, but you definitely will never go. He didn't say that, y'all. I'm thinking it. A whole day without talking to me. So I thought their conversation was really good. At this point, my review about to be longer than the show. Let me wrap this up. So Chaz and Vanessa go out, and Gwen, you gonna have to fight Vanessa because she just undid all your work. When they get in there, she tells him that the sister found him to be interesting, but also found him to be somewhat manipulative. He don't understand that. He got to probe deeper into that because manipulative is something that he is not. They begin to talk about why the sister felt that way and why Vanessa kind of felt that way too, because she feels like the way that you speak, maybe I'm way more into you than you are into me, to which he says, absolutely not. That's BS. Then he kind of get her with the wordplay, I may have bought a bouquet, but I bought you too. I may say this to them, but I do it twice as much with you. And I can't remember what else he said, but he was like, when I walk into your temple, I worship you. I said, now, wait a minute. Now, that would have had me caught up as well, because what temple we talking about? Now, I only know of one temple, and that's my body. And the only person that's supposed to be in there is Christ. But I believe Chaz done been up in there because Vanessa is slipping way too hard. And I also remember that Vanessa had not had a lot of experience with black men. You know, she admitted that and said that she had never really experienced the black love portion. So I'm kind of wondering if, you know, he done put some of the slong on her, that she ain't had quite the rhythm and blues, if you know what I mean, like that. And all this stuff, this wordplay he's saying is mesmerizing her, girl. Let me tell you, we all know it. All right, maybe you new to it, but we know it. And none of this should have worked on you, but it worked. That temple thing probably would have had me hesitating as well. I ain't gonna lie. Then next thing I know, they holding hands under the table. I was just like, Vanessa, no. I was really glad that on this date, even though it was in sort of a roundabout way, that Alonzo addressed what he needed to address with Patrice, which is basically like, where do I stand with you? After they have their little country line dancing, he says that he noticed Patrice went to Chaz and was comforting him. And he kind of felt like, dang, where am I in all of this, right? Especially since this was a new connection. He didn't say that, but that's probably what he was thinking. Patrice lets Alonzo know that at the time she just went to him because he was crying and, you know, she felt bad for him and she went where she was needed. They both have a lot of similarities where they don't find themselves getting extremely jealous. Patrice does admit that Alonzo is very much like a male version of her. What she wants to know from Alonzo is, what are you doing to prepare yourself to be a husband? And Alonzo says that one of the things that he does is he listens to understand, not to respond, which is such a generic answer. And he talks about how, you know, sometimes you might get a little hot-headed. I'm going to make sure I try to understand where you're coming from. And that's when Patrice throws in that sometimes she can have tantrums and she wants somebody to come after her. And that's what I'm talking about. She just as childish. To me, she is. I don't know if y'all see it, but I do. And I think that's more so her match than anybody else. Now, do I think it's going to work long term? I don't think so. It feels like she's trying to grow up, but she's just not there. She like Peter Pan. But I cannot believe I'm glad at least Alonzo asked her. I'm sorry, y'all. In the end, the ladies meet up with nephew Tyler Perry, and I was so disappointed in Maya Mia because she was really trying to protect Luron during that time with nephew Tyler Perry when she should have just told it. But she was talking around it, acting like she wasn't sure if she understood. She understands just fine. The other ladies talk about what the family thought about the guys and what they have to think about. Really, the stronger connection there is Mika and Justin. Surprisingly, I didn't see them coming around the bend like that. Vanessa knows that she has a lot to think about when it comes to Chaz, and they're both overthinking. I don't know. You don't. The only thing you need to be thinking about is how to get away. I already told you I'm disappointed in Maya. And then who else is sitting there, child? Oh, Patrice. Patrice says that while Chaz does not give her butterflies, she can't live off of butterflies. It almost seems like she's trying to pick the man that looks good on paper, even though she knows that Alonzo is the one she really meshes well with, but she knows maybe they not going to have nothing serious down the road. Next week, they're going to meet with some of the guys' family, and they look like Justin brother wanted Mika for himself next week. But yeah, y'all. Oh, this has been one of the worst seasons in a long time. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all for the next one. Bye.